Well, before I get started, you already know how I am. I have to give you your props, okay? Because first of all, I don't know if you saw my text messages. So, if you didn't, I am very, very proud of you. Considering how everything unfolded that week, a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I understand that obviously we wanted double golds, but only one came out, but that's okay because you still the champ regardless. And I just wanted to say that you are a very strong inspiration, and I am very proud of you for how you were also standing up for Janelle while you were going through your stuff on social media as well. So I just wanted to say how much I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Caitlin. Yeah, I did get
Sure.
you text. I can't remember if I replied back. There's like a whole bunch of messages I still haven't
Oh, trust, I
replied back to.
believe.
It's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
believe, I believe. But we're gonna go ahead and hop into this because I don't
Yeah,
really know
yeah.
how much time that you have, so I don't want to take up all of it. But the first thing that I kind of want to talk about is your support system. And I've honestly really loved seeing how that's unfolded over the past, I don't know, let's say like month and some change, especially like Rye. Rye been going to bat for you on social media for like the past couple weeks. That boy do not
Yeah.
play about you. And if it's somebody that if I want to have a friend, I want to have a friend like Rye. And so for you, just seeing how many people have been sticking up for you over the past couple of weeks, what has that meant to you, and how much does your support system mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's specifically with like, people sticking out on social media. It's been different to see because usually just like me and my family. And even and like, I usually just tell my mom, yeah, don't look at social media because she can't, she's not very good with understanding trolls and how all that works. So
Yeah,
yeah, just don't look at it. And even getting calls from like Josephus and Angie, and they're just like, bro, like they don't know what they're doing. Like, bro, like every time I want to go out there and just get after it, I'm just like, it's all right, bro. And having Grant and Rye and a bunch of other people like stick up. It's very nice because I
yeah,
know it's hard because not everybody knows all the full story, and you know I I'm waiting for the right medias to be able to bring out the full story. Like
for sure.
we're gonna be having Netflix come by tomorrow, and I'm like, yeah, this is one of those places where I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go into full detail with everything because the wider the audience, the better the story can get told. And
For sure.
but definitely like at home, having Janelle, my mom, Josephus, everybody. It's definitely been the thing that makes it feel all worth it. I try to tell people a lot that it's nice to have fans, but fans are fans. It's the family members, it's the people who go through the struggles with you. Those are the people who you feel that you get to celebrate the most when it feels the most.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, even last year when you was talking about going for double gold, and like, listen, Jamaica Twitter was about to come to my house and crucify me because I literally the tweet just said like, "I'm so happy that you had got double gold or something like that." When I tell you they came in my comments and they was trying to cook me, I'm like, I can't be happy for my friend because he just got two gold
Yeah.
medals. Like, what's the beef? I wasn't even talking about y'all, so I can definitely understand why that would be like a lot for you and like how much that means to you, especially considering like how your popularity has evolved over time. I
Mhm.
know when I talked to you a couple years ago at US Trials, specifically in 2022, you were talking about, transcending the sport and like really trying to do your own thing and like being more than just like a fast track and field athlete. And I will say
Mhm.
that this Olympic year, if you don't think that you have either achieved that goal or gotten really close to it, I'm gonna hit you upside your head because I think
I,
that's not true.
I think it's a great
Um,
start.
yeah, but you have definitely you put your name out there. And so how does it feel to know that you are really embarking on a path to being more than just Noah Lyles, the fast track and field athlete, but you're becoming an icon. You're becoming somebody that people really look up to. You're a part of conversations that I'm sure you might not have thought that you were going to be a part of before. So what does all of that mean for you?
Yeah, it's definitely been different. Expected but different. I think it's more like how it's happened. Like I know that having world's fastest man title brings things, but you can never say, okay, I know exactly what it's gonna bring.
Right.
I got a message from Tara. She was coaching one of her little kids, and he was like, yeah, hey, no, you're the fastest, and I know they're gonna make a Fortnite emo about you, and I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna do it all the time. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, why do I not have a Fortnite emote? Yeah, that's let me get everybody on that.
Right.
That's the direction we need to move. And then having so many different people reach out to me, whether it's about, NBA, the Olympics, it's football, I'm like, okay. I remember I was literally watching a video somebody tagged me in, and they were like, Noah Lyles said, "Man, I'm tired of listening to Noah Lyles. That man need to shut up." And I laughed because I was like, "I'm gonna be honest. I'm tired of hearing about myself too. Like,
Listen,
what?
you
Goodness gracious, what
popular.
did I do this time?" Like
Everybody want to hear
Janelle,
you talk.
everybody got my name and name out. Everybody want to hear me talk. I'm like that. Janelle's like, every time you say one thing, it blows up. I'm just like, goodness
Listen,
gracious, right? I'm not even trying to do anything yet.
no, and really to just like continue on that note, right? Like as you said, I mean, essentially with great power comes great responsibility, and
Mhm.
obviously you've got a lot of power now, considering all the things that you've accomplished and everything that you're trying to accomplish. But as we've talked about, you're in the spotlight a lot more. So like anything you say can just get thrown in many different ways. And
Yeah.
it's crazy because when we were doing our recap show in Paris,
Mhm.
I went on like this whole rant for like 2 to 3 minutes about you because I was just like, I feel like people don't understand like where he's coming from. And I feel like they take him like slightly too serious. And not what I mean, like, oh, like they should
Yeah,
look
I
at
get that.
Noah and like not take what you say serious because obviously if you say that you want to win, people should take that serious. But I think people have kind of like made it a mission to like actively be angry about everything that you say. But I'm like,
Yeah,
if
villainize. Yeah.
I personally feel like, Jakob, Fred, and so many other athletes essentially say the exact same stuff that you do. Like I promise you, I wanted to play a game where it was like, let me pull up Fred's tweets and let me pull up Noah's tweets and make people guess who said what. Because I honestly feel like you say a lot of stuff that other athletes are willing to say. But for whatever reason, they just actively are dense and like take what you say too serious or don't take it the right way. Because I mean, like
Yeah.
when people were talking about when Fred was talking about, oh, next time I'm on the track, I'm breaking a world record. Obviously, that didn't
I was
happen.
just thinking about that a few months ago.
Okay. And people were just
But
like, oh, it's okay, Fred. You'll get him next time. But
yeah,
oh, let Noah say he want to break a world record. Da, 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 da. Everybody trying to
yeah,
cook you. And so I just kind of want to understand, like, why do you think
believe
people
that happens.
misunderstand you? Or what do you think, like, I don't know, like what do you think that people need to understand more about you?
I won't say what. Well, I will say they need to understand or to first take into consideration when they do hear me speak. There's definitely different forms of Noah. The Noah you see on the track is not the Noah that lives in reality, and that's not the Noah that I bring home every day. As Janelle was
Yeah.
saying, she doesn't know who I am when I get on the track. She's like, "That's not the Noah that I hang out with."
That's
She's
not my
right.
name.
She's right. That's athletic Noah. That's competition Noah. That's go out and get this done and win Noah. That's a different mindset that I have when I actually bring it to the real life and when I'm just out and about buying groceries, going on a drive, eating dinner. That's and being at the mall. That's completely different Noah. But there are a few things that I've noticed recently, especially with all the controversies going on. One, I've seen that a lot of the times I will say something and the internet will of course take their little clip it that they like, but
Yes.
once the general public gets a hold of that, they create their own opinion and put it off as my opinion.
Yeah.
And a lot of time that's not the case. We could of course we could take the NBA comment. People saw the NBA comment and a lot of the world said, yes, finally somebody who's saying that, the if you're a national champion, you're not a world champion. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but that was like a sub part of the main story. And nobody has ever been able to tell me when I asked them what was the question that was asked that made me respond like that. And again, that's because everybody's taken the opinion that they got from it and put it off as mine. And unfortunately, that's not always the case. But sometimes it is, but it's not most of the time. And I have to watch and sit back because usually, if I try to say something not in the right time or the right place, it will just get either washed over by the overflow of everybody else,
Mm.
or they'll say, well, you said this, so now you're just being a hypocrite. It's all about timing. It's all about timing and finding the right place. And sometimes it's just something you got to back off and not say anything about.
That's why Beyonce don't talk to nobody no more. You don't see her saying nothing to the media. I don't know. I don't know what her fan base got going on, but they be tweaking. So I can definitely see why that would I understand like taking control of your own narrative and your own power. And that makes me think about Sha'Carri a little bit because I remember
Mm-hmm.
when she was very like adamant and still is adamant about speaking to a specific group of people when she wants to, how she wants to, and that's very admirable. But a lot of people, especially when it was going down a couple of years ago, it was like, you're this, you're that. And it's like, no, like, do y'all literally see what happens anytime she opens her mouth or anytime she does anything? This is how the story gets told, when in reality, it was something completely different. And I definitely do see that that's happening with you. But another thing that I want to talk to you about is about vulnerability, because as we've been talking about, as we said, there's just a lot when it comes to being in the spotlight and things like that. And
Mhm.
so I just want to know, was there a time either before the Olympics, during or after, where you just felt mentally vulnerable, like where you just didn't really feel like yourself?
Oh yeah. I'd say about 5 to 6 days out from the 100-meter first round. Um, this was like right after the opening ceremonies. I was exhausted, like physically very tired. I would try to go to practice, and it was hard to get my body to move around and do anything. It wasn't coming to me. I was saying, I need to get out the blocks, and my body was very sluggish, just because I was so tired. And at the same time, I just gotten the call saying that my my high school coach's funeral was going to be happening while I was at the Olympics. And I had been informed before I left that that wasn't going to be the case. And they changed it. And that definitely, it definitely shifted my mindset on what was happening around the world. I was no longer thinking about what was happening in the moment exactly with the Olympics, but I was kind of just heartbroken that I thought I knew that I wasn't going to be able to be there for when he died because it was very sudden. But I thought I'd at least be able to be there, for his passing, for the ceremony. So a lot of those things were kind of just put me in a state where I couldn't even talk to my sports therapist about race plans because I was so caught up on I'm so tired and I'm so fatigued and everybody's coming up to me asking for a picture, and that takes social energy that I don't have right now. And it's very hard for me to even go to lunch or breakfast or dinner because I'm sitting in the back corner with a hat, glasses, and a mask, and people are still trying to you know, to ask for some social energy in forms that I just don't have, unfortunately. And it was a very vulnerable spot. And I had to quickly get myself into a state of I have to shelter myself in this little bit of time that I have before the 100 starts to get my mindset on I need to execute. I need to mentally be aware of what's going on around me. I don't need to be thinking about other things that are happening, but I need to be in the present. And it was very hard. But, you know, that's what it's like to be the best.
Yeah, I'm sure that was very difficult, because even when I lost my dad a couple years ago, and having to show up and be a captain and run track for 6 more months was not that's not something I would wish on anybody. But as we talked about with support system, obviously Celsius loves you and you love Celsius. And so I just want to know, what has it been like partnering with them, and how has that kind of strengthened your relationship with you yourself as an athlete on the track, and like how do they get you going?
I've been having a lot of fun. Tara and Hunter are also on the Celsius team, and even Frederick. I've actually become close with Frederick because I heard that he was on the Celsius team, and I was literally a day later or a day earlier looking like this guy needs a bunch of sponsors. And I saw, we did a collab, and we all started. I feel like we all have that very excitable energy, that
Yeah.
very go take charge, go into the action no matter what's going to happen and say we're going to win type energy, the trying to change your sport one step at a time type energy. I think I've heard each one of us say in interviews some form or another that we want to transcend our sport or change our sport for the better. So it's one cool to have people like that you're around, and then two, it's funny because I'm already an energetic person, so you can only imagine how much
I don't want to
energy I
imagine
have when I
you on
put myself.
Celsius. I don't. Because I wouldn't want to imagine myself on Celsius, because I already know the cuckoo.
It's wiring, bro. It's wiring. I take it very sparingly when I need it the most. It's very much a situation like before before the Olympics, before finals for sure. Before semis and the finals, I'm definitely drinking a lot of Celsius. Um
Did you have Celsius before the 200, when everybody was cooking you for jumping around?
I I did drink Celsius. But it's funny that you say that because a lot of people do cook me for that. But I want people to think about how mentally energetic you have to put yourself in. You already have COVID. You are already sluggish. Fatigue sets in randomly. Your chest gets tight. A lot of people think you are going to try and save your energy. Well, I tried to save my energy in the semifinals and it didn't go very well.
Yeah.
So in my head, I and my therapist said we have to amp the body up. So if it does get fatigued, you're already at a high level and you have to ride that high as long as possible. And we said we're going to rest all day and we're only going to use it in one part of the day, and that's going to be the finals. And if you can't get to that point of being up on a 10 or a 9 already, then it's not going to come in the race. And I knew that for sure that wouldn't have happened. So a lot of people say, you know, you ain't got no COVID. You over here bouncing around doing all this stuff. Well, you can't do it. And that's why you're not here. But I can do it because that's what I've gone through all my life. And that's how I'm going to try and run my best performance.
See, I'm glad that you saying something because whenever I post this, I'm gonna be like, yeah, because I be ready to cook people, but then I'm like, Chris gonna get mad if I start cooking people and people cooking me. So I know he gonna be mad
Yeah,
if
that's not
I
your
start
job.
cooking people
That's
that be
not your
cooking my
job.
friends.
Hey,
Cause
that's Rye's job. That's other people's jobs. Also, I
listen,
want you to think about this. The opinions of the social media is not the opinions of the world.
that is true.
Everybody does not have social media. Everybody does not care to say something. Everybody does not look at them things that you see. We are looking at the world of track and field, and it's a very small community. You could probably reach any legend of the sport just by saying, I run track and field. But you can't reach the world just through track and field, which is why I pull out Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because guess what? It got me a free room at the St. Regis.
Listen, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because I know you don't got that much time left, and this is kind of not related to track, but I don't know if you knew that there was like a whole street full of like anime shops. And so I'm going to take like 30 seconds of your time to show you all the stuff that I got because the only other person on this
Okay,
planet
what you
that
got?
cares that much is my brother.
Fair
So
enough.
first of
I'll
all,
accept it.
first of all, I don't know if you can see it, but
Oh, it's Sasuke.
yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
don't
hang
have
on.
any like 3D models and stuff.
Man,
So
while we're doing that, I this is what I got for my birthday from
wait, let
Janelle.
me see. What? Are you kidding me? Yo, yo. I don't know how I'm coming to your house, but I am. And if it's
Yeah.
gone, I'm so sorry.
No. Good
I'm
luck.
so sorry if it's
That thing
missing.
is over 100 pounds.
Hey, you think I can't? Hey, I used to be a track athlete too. I was just lifting 300 pounds this morning. Don't think I
I
can't
believe
do it.
you. It's just not in the shape of a circle.
Hey, I'm just saying, never underestimate me. And then I had a couple more,
Go
but
ahead.
the coolest one that I had is this one. I'm gonna put
Aim.
it because it changes. Like
Oh
you
yeah, I
can,
see it. I see it. I see it.
yep, yep, yeah, yeah, yeah. I almost bought that entire street, but then I realized that I had rent to pay, so that wasn't gonna happen. But
Have
when
you
we go to
seen those
Tokyo
pic?
next year,
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. I got you. I got you. I got you.
all right. Well, I know you gotta go, so I'm gonna chat with
Yeah.
you later. And yeah, thank you so much for chatting with me, man.
Thanks, Katelyn. Hey, I'm proud of you. You're moving up. Keep
I'm
striving.
trying. I'm trying.
No,
I've
you're
been struggling the
doing it.
past couple weeks, but hey,
No.
we here regardless. So